So I have another question for you. Is it okay for me to pop my own neck?
Heck no.
Why?
That's not even a conversation. And again, going back to what that's why I tell patients is I'd be a hypocrite, because that's what really my chiropractic journey started. And I say this jokingly, and it's funny to see their reaction. It's like, it's funny. I can't even do that to myself. Even knowing what we know as chiropractors, we can't properly adjust our own spine.
I wish I could.
It would be nice.
Yes.
and it's all on angles and vectors and being specific. And that's where chiropractic, I believe, has lost, because there's no sound philosophy with chiropractic.
Mm-hmm.
And you hear a lot of these, we see a high volume here in the office, but we don't take it lightly. Every patient deserves our time, our focus, that reset, to be present in the moment, because your chiropractor is going to determine how you respond to care too. If they're in that moment, if they're focused and they're philosophy based, and they're telling you what you need to hear. And I hate to be this way too, but there must be a lot of chiropractors out there that have x-ray vision, because I don't feel comfortable adjusting a patient over the age of 25 without seeing a picture of what I'm working with.
Yeah.
And that's the truth. And it's so looked at as like, oh, I need an x-ray, nothing's broken. No, I need to see what's going on in your spine.
Yeah.
I need to know which bone I need to move and how we need to take care of it. So,
well, and unfortunately, so I know back in the day, it used to actually be more mandatory for someone, if they got adjusted. I know, I think it was at least Medicare patients, they would have to get an x-ray before they could even be adjusted. Well, now we see how insurance affects what we can do. When they stop covering things, and then patients don't want to pay for things, which is totally understandable. I get it. They don't want to pay for those things. That's why some chiropractors and probably some doctors, whatever the modality is, they're not able to perform it quite as much anymore because of the way insurance. And we could get into insurance. No, we won't get down that rabbit hole, because we hate at this office insurance dictating what we can do and what we should do based on how much they'll cover or anything like that. We absolutely hate it. We hate having those conversations, but it's part of the game. It's part of what we have to do, and so we understand it. But yeah. So popping your neck yourself. What happens when you're doing that yourself?
A lot of what my experience with it is, and I'll have the patient explain to me how they did it, which side they felt the pop on. Majority of the times, the area that they're getting that release or that pop from is above or below or on the other side of what actually needs to be restored properly, because the body's always compensating. So if one area is moving too easy, if you're able to just turn your neck and it pops, that joint has become hypermobile. It is moving way too easy. Those ligaments and soft tissue we were talking about become unstable. I mean, we have ligaments that strap the vertebrae so they can move properly. Moving it too much will cause lackadaisical ligaments, which just leads to instability. There's a lot of very valuable structures right up at the base of your skull.
Yeah, brain stem, everything is right in there,
that control a lot of your life. So, and I've heard stories of individuals popping their necks and then eventually leading to a stroke. Chiropractors get that, oh, I don't want to have a stroke going to a chiropractor. Well, if the bone is moving specifically and you're going to a chiropractor that's studying your x-ray, it's pretty much impossible for that to happen.